Ocasio-Cortez, the dimwit, called the tippy top.
Yes.
You're in the tippy top earner program, right? And he would be taxed under the socialist regime at, what, 70%?
Yeah, they're talking about 70.
If they're nice to him, 70%. So he's at the tippy top. But what he does with half his time is he goes down to the government-made ghettos, and he gives his care to people with no insurance, and he doesn't charge them.
Yeah.
Now, in my world, he shouldn't be taxed on his profit. He should be given credit for that time.
Yeah.
And now you have the best doctors who are making the most money doing operations and procedures on the people who could never afford them and would never see them.
Yeah.
Versus the way socialism really works, which is a mailman with a freaking lab coat on, sticking a finger in a wound, calling himself a doctor. See, in the end of socialism, you know who's left to practice medicine? Morons, because they're the only ones that would work for that kind of money.
Yeah.
All the good ones, they retire or they stop practicing because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So it's funny, no matter how big of a failure they have, they do what they're going to do in New Zealand. You have a major failure in there. That wasn't the nut that killed the people. That's going to happen. The failure was restricting the good people from defending themselves by making it impossible or nearly impossible or too arduous for them to get a gun. Yeah. So government is good at one thing, and one thing, it's an art format, is capitalizing on its own failure to gain strength and authority over your life. And that's how you become very small and a slave to the state. And I'll tell you what, Misty, and I say it every time I fill in, it's hard for somebody to tell me how they are not a slave to the state government. And I don't mean the particulars. I'm talking about the overall layers of government.
Yeah.
From your municipality to your state to your federal government. What in your life is yours? And the answer is not much. Yeah. Unless you're one of these people on the nipple. If you're on the nipple and you wait for your government cheese to come every month, then I guess you're fine with it. The problem is under a socialist or a quasi-socialist system, which is what we have. It's a hybrid system.
Yeah.
It's not capitalist.
No.
It's more socialist than not, but they don't admit it. Under that system, you have to look at the actual facts of, is it better to be on the nipple or to be the dummy feeding the nipple? That's the thing. And when you have in society, what we see here in Illinois is a scale that's tipped. And that's why we're in the position we're in, but we're just one state among several that are super bad. And what's scary is that on a national level, who looks to be a challenger to the president now, and who will be the president after he's gone? Yeah. The reality in this country is scary. And you know what it is, Misty? Is that we will have an outright socialist president in your lifetime.
Oh, no, I believe it. I believe it.
It's very scary, man. It's very scary.
I mean, I don't mean to be the cynic, and I said this to Joe like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, Joe, I'm pretty much a cynic because I think we are pretty much done. I mean, we should keep fighting for capitalism and freedom and liberty and all of that. But I think it's just rear guard action at this point, anything conservatives do or anything libertarians do, because we have this entire generation coming up. When they gain power, they absolutely will give up freedom for comfort.
Absolutely. And the reality is you're not getting the comfort. It's not even a real exchange. You're getting a lie. You're getting utopia coming out of the mouth of a too ugly to be a movie star, right? And too lazy to go get a job. We call them politicians. They're just at that threshold where they're BS artists. Yeah. And they're painting you this utopia. And what's funny is no matter how much it fails, they win. Yeah. It's crazy. So I have a daughter who's, she just argues with everything. She doesn't do her homework. She's not great in school. I send her to really good schools. So she asked me the other day, what should I do? I said, for you, government work, baby. You could be president one day. You're beautiful. You're ignorant. And you're confident. You're Ocasio-Cortez, kid. Just get out there. And, maybe this way she'll take it easy on the old man when I'm under the bridge after trying to do the right thing for her and the government. Between everybody, I'm going to end up with nothing. And I got the sign because I don't make fun of those guys. You know how I told you I like to make fun of people? Yeah. I don't make fun of those guys because those are probably capitalists who raise daughters or brat kids. And that's how you look, trying to fight the system. We'll all be out there. But here's the good news. I have yet to see a bald bum. So I get to keep my hair, right? Let's focus on the good news. My name is Sean Thompson, in for Joe Walsh. We'll be back after these messages.
All right. 3 more. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. So we'll do super rapid fire.
No, we don't have to. 3 minutes is a long time to talk. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 5 minutes before we gotta go in there.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. No, you want to know something? I kind of like this. I haven't been on here for a week. I've been out of town, so this is good practice.
Okay. Just let me know, Josh.
Can
3:30.
Can we get like a waitress in an old Playboy bunny costume to bring me another one of these things? No. All right. I really want one of those. I don't know what kind of operation you're running here. Yeah.
Poor man mocha.
Brought to me by a bunny. Ready and
wait. You ready? Okay.
I'm ready. I'm Sean Thompson in for Joe Walsh. You are listening to the Joe Walsh program, where we have a lot of studio heads very nervous walking around because they let a caller fill in for Joe Walsh. It's great.